Hello there. I'm Clara, and I'm so happy you are joining me today. Before we settle in, I have a gentle request. The story I'm about to share is a companion to the one my husband Thomas recently told. If you haven't yet heard his heart in the video, the 5 times I almost left and the one reason I stayed, I would ask that you please pause here and watch that one first. His story is the path, and mine is the view from the other side of the stream. They are truly meant to be heard together. For those of you who have, let us begin. The rain has passed. The house is filled with that clean, quiet light that always follows a good shower. I'm here in the dining room, or my studio, as Thomas has started calling it. I'm cleaning my brushes, wiping away the blues and greens from this morning's work. There's a faint, sweet smell of turpentine in the air. For a long time, Thomas found this smell irritating. Now, he says it smells like peace. I listened to the recording of my husband's words last night. I sat right here in this chair and heard him speak of the 5 times he almost left. And my heart ached a little. Not with anger or with shame, but with a deep, tender ache for the man who was walking a difficult path right beside me. And I never truly saw the stones in his shoes. His story is true. Every word of it. A marriage, you see, is not one story. It's 2 stories, running alongside each other like parallel streams. Sometimes they flow so closely you can't tell one from the other. And other times they drift so far apart you fear they'll never meet again. Thomas told his story with such honesty. He spoke of his need for order, of his quiet battles. And now I feel I must share the view from my side of the stream. Not to correct his story, but to complete it. Because the space between our 2 truths. That is where our marriage was finally found. The first time. The woman in the mirror. I remember that dinner party, the one for his promotion. Thomas remembers my lateness, my cloud of hairspray, the search for the perfect earrings. He saw it as chaos, as a lack of respect for the life he was trying to build. And from his perspective, he was right. But what he couldn't see was the woman standing in front of the bedroom mirror, her heart hammering against her ribs. I was a young mother. My world was one of soft lullabies and scraped knees. His world was becoming one of sharp suits and sharper minds. That dinner, it felt like a test. And I was certain I was going to fail it. And in doing so, fail him. The cloud of hairspray was armor. The frantic search for the earrings wasn't about vanity. It was a desperate hunt for a piece of myself that looked like it belonged in that life. Every minute that ticked by wasn't a defiance of his schedule, but a fresh wave of panic. I wasn't just late. I was terrified. Terrified that I wouldn't be smart enough or charming enough. Terrified that someone would look at me and then look at my brilliant, orderly husband and think, what does he see in her? When we walked in late, I felt his shame. But underneath it, I was drowning in my own. He thought he was carrying the weight of our future alone. I was terrified I was the dead weight holding him back. That night, he imagined leaving to find a life of order. I lay awake, imagining him leaving to find a wife who fit more easily into the world he was destined for. The second time, the sound of silence. Thomas remembers the years the children were young as a time of silence at the dinner table. He remembers conversations that were merely transactions. He remembers looking across at me and feeling a profound loneliness. And he was not wrong. What I remember is the noise. A relentless 24-hour-a-day storm of noise. The noise of a toddler's tantrum, the ringing phone, the buzz of the washing machine, the endless questions. Mom, what's for dinner? Mom, can you help me? Mom, where are my shoes? For years, I felt that my name wasn't Clara. It was Mom. I was the chief operator of a loud, demanding, beautiful little universe. And by the time the children were in bed and the last dish was put away, there was nothing left of me. There was only a hollow, buzzing quiet in my own mind. He saw a wife who wouldn't talk to him. I was a woman who had forgotten how to form a sentence that wasn't a directive or a solution to someone else's problem. The silence he felt as rejection was my utter and complete exhaustion. It was the quiet of a well that has been drawn from all day and is waiting, praying for a gentle rain to refill it. I had nothing left to give. He felt invisible to me, but the truth is, I had become invisible to myself. The third time, the lifeline. The watercolors. He remembers my painting as the unseen wall between us, the day his world came crashing down and I was more concerned with the shade of a rose. I have thought about that moment 1,000 times, and I would not blame him for his memory of it. But he saw the watercolors as a hobby, a pleasant diversion. He couldn't know that they were my lifeline. After decades of running on fumes, of being everything for everyone, painting was the first thing that was just for me. My friend Arthur speaks of happiness as a garden to be tended. For me, these paints, this paper, this was the first patch of soil that was entirely my own. Learning to paint was really about learning the art of stillness, something I had never known. It was about learning to just be, to sit, to watch the light change, to see the world not as a list of tasks, but as a sea of color and shadow. It was a fragile, tender new language for my soul. When he came in that day with the weight of his failure, I saw his pain. I did, but I was so new at this practice of being, I didn't know how to hold both his world and my own. He needed me to step back into the role of the competent fixer, the manager of sorrows. And in that moment, I selfishly, clumsily clung to my newfound peace. It wasn't that his pain didn't matter. It was that I was terrified that if I let go of that brush, if I let the chaos of his world in, my own fragile sanctuary would vanish. It was a failure of love on my part, born from the desperate fear of losing myself again. If something in this is resonating with you, I'd be so grateful to know. You might just type, "I'm listening" in the comments below, so we know we're in this together. It helps to know we are not alone on this path. The fourth time, the echoes in the house. The empty nest. Thomas remembers the silence, how my small habits of chaos became roaring monsters in the quiet. He remembers looking at me and thinking he didn't like me anymore. That one stings, but I understand it. What he saw as a mess, the half-finished projects, the shoes by the door, was my clumsy attempt to make the house feel alive again. The silence he found so deafening was, for me, a terrifying accusation. It screamed that my purpose was finished. For 25 years, my identity was woven into the fabric of motherhood. When that was pulled away, I began to unravel. Starting a dozen things and finishing none, it wasn't carelessness. It was a frantic effort to fill the space, to create motion and life where there was a sudden, aching stillness. It was my way of shouting into the echo, "I am still here!" He retreated to his garden and to Elias's workshop, seeking order. I watched him go, and it felt like a confirmation of my deepest fear, that without the children as our common purpose, there was nothing left. The woman who remained wasn't enough. He thought he didn't like me. I was convinced I was no longer likable. The fifth time, the fear of the void. His health scare. I remember it like a cold stone in my stomach. He speaks of my fussing, of how he felt trapped by my competence. He interpreted my actions as control. He couldn't have been more wrong. For a lifetime, my worth was tied to my ability to do, to manage, to organize, to solve. When the specter of his illness entered our home, I was utterly, completely terrified. The thought of losing him, it was not a thought, but a black, bottomless void that I couldn't bear to look at. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. I went to war with the chaos. I organized his medications into neat little rows. I made schedules. I researched diets. I scrubbed the floors. My fussing wasn't an attempt to control him. It was a desperate, frantic battle to keep the void at bay. It was my love, expressed in the only language I had left, the language of doing. He felt trapped by my actions. I felt I was holding on to him with my bare, bleeding fingernails. While he was dreaming of running away from dependency, I was having nightmares of the silence his absence would leave behind. A silence, as our friend Arthur would say, of losing his Eleanor that has a sound. The one reason I am still here. Thomas's breakthrough came in the garden when he let go of the need to be right. His wisdom is so beautifully grounded. My own came more slowly, right here, with these watercolors. For so many years, I believed that love was something I had to earn. I had to be the perfect hostess, the tireless mother, the competent wife. I thought my value was in my performance, and I was always falling short. The one reason I'm still here is this: I finally learned to accept grace. It happened in the quiet moments of just being, of mixing a color on a palette and realizing there is no right way for a sky to look, of letting the water and the pigment bleed together, creating something unexpected and beautiful. I realized I had been trying to live my life with a set of impossible rules. I am still here because I finally understood that Thomas's love and God's love was not contingent on my performance. He didn't need me to be on time or perfectly tidy or to have all the answers. He just needed me. The real me, the one who was buried under all the doing. I stayed because he learned to see past my chaos to my heart. And I stayed because I finally learned that I was worthy of being seen, worthy of being loved, not for what I did, but simply for who I was. He let go of judgment, and I, in turn, learned to let go of the fear of being judged. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today, for sharing this quiet space. The journey of a shared life is truly about seeing that there isn't just one story, but two. And the greatest love is found in the grace we grant to the space between them. If you're ready to take that first, gentle step on your own path of reflection, I've created something just for you. It's a free guide called The First 5 Questions, a gentle guide to rediscovering your story. It's designed to help you begin this exact process in a quiet and meaningful way. You can download it right now for free from the link in the description or at eldersecos.com. Be gentle with yourself this week.